Welcome back to another episode of Day Zero Lessons. Today, I'm really excited to have Saeju Jeong, who is the
Uh-huh.
co-founder of Noom.
Mhm.
And for those of you who don't know what Noom is, it's one of the largest digital health platforms used to provide intelligent nutrition and exercise coaching now. Seiju, great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. My sincere honor to be here. And
Amazing.
also
Well,
to also meet other fellow entrepreneurs. It's always my joy to meet other entrepreneurs. Oh,
fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining. And I reached out to you a couple months ago now, after 17 years of you running Noom as the CEO. You
correct.
recently stepped down to as executive chairman now.
Correct.
What have you been reflecting on over the past 17 years on what you and the team have achieved?
Ooh, that's a very big question. So you want me to answer like what did I learn in the last 17 years?
Maybe let's focus on what have you been reflecting on?
Um, about the new position you're asking, correct?
Yeah.
A part of the lesson I want to share that company from the day one, once you start, is designed for the growth. It's not because mm, I think it is the, as a profit for profit company, it is the DNA. The company that doesn't have like growth, um, have a hard time. Growth is the core of DNA of successful company to recruit, retain the top talents, can invest into R&D, which embrace innovation to the product and growth, bringing the great momentum and excitement to the team members, stakeholders, investors, and market. So that's all good. But it doesn't come for free. Growth is very difficult to maintain and also actually acquire, have a growth company. And what I learned, in order to have a sustainable growth company, the company must always adapt to change. In other words, evolution is the must every day. And I had a lot of philosophical question to myself, deeper level question to myself since 2021, because I became a CEO because I found a company and I had to put my name as the first person who registered as a LLC at Delaware 17 years ago. And probably a lot of your audience today, the fellow founders, entrepreneurs may resonate with my experience. You are CEO because you appoint yourself as a CEO. And you will be always challenged by stakeholders, investors, your teammates, the market. But most importantly, you'll be challenged by yourself. Let's be very honest about that. As a founder of the startup, you may ask yourself, am I good enough? Am I doing well? It's a very philosophical question. A lot of founders have that. And I think that also led emotional roller coasters, which is a part of the journey of startup. So as we achieve a lot of what people are saying success, I experienced the growth and then hyper growth mode of business and a unicorn status. And we became quite known company, very established brand in the United States. So I'm very proud of that achievement. Have like thousands employee. And around 2021, I had to question myself, if I don't give a chance of my position to someone else, then how can we evolve even better? Remember all that I mentioned about evolution is a must. So I had a question. And then I wanted to also manage my own ego. That is it me versus we. And unfortunately, becoming a quite known company CEO, the ego also rise too, because the world is paying attention to CEO. I think that's how it works. So I want to find a balance. And also, when I had an assumption there must be a better CEO than me for certain, meaning who can run the operation and the business better than me. Because again, I became a CEO because I appointed myself as a CEO from day one. And I think I managed pretty okay last 17 years and wanted to embrace better than me. So I explained to our employee, our team, we don't call employee, we call Noom last year, hey, we always expect you to become better. We always give a challenge. We always embrace talents who has a better experience and has a very strong track record in order to embrace the evolution, in order to continue to have a growth of a company. And it's my turn now. And people were very surprised, but I told them, because imagine if we won the, let's say, soccer competition in the United States. And I think that's Noom right now. Now, we want to participate FIFA World Cup, the nationwide, the global wise, the competition of the soccer competition. And this chance is very hard to receive. And we have a lot to lose, far more than years ago. We now have things to lose, which is our vulnerability. Noom is known company. So I weigh what is more important. Part of the way I became better as an executive and learned a lot because I made a lot of mistakes. Now, we need to weigh the mistake. It's not the same weight because we are a known company. We have far more things to lose if we make a mistake. So why do I look for the world's best coach who can lead us to have a higher chance to win the FIFA World Cup, for instance? Exactly the same spirit. Let's look out. Let's give a chance who might be a very good CEO who can actually guide us to next level, have a sustainable growth of company, who comes with experience. And then I put a real effort with the board of directors, a really hard. I'm very proud of the effort, and we invited a very good CEO. So that's the whole story. I hope that this episode can actually, give some the lessons and helpful for you guys.
Super interesting. And I love that
Thank you.
philosophy. But also, right, when you've built a company, you've built that culture and things change, people don't like that. So how did the team internally receive the news? How did they take it when you decided you would no longer be working together as frequently?
Matter of fact, okay, so the day when I announced it, it was people were surprised. I saw some people cried. I think that much I had a lot of attachment, and I'm very proud of our, the comrade at Noom. But I also mentioned it's not kind of like corporate BS comment, but that's why I chose the path to become full-time chair, the executive chair position, because I have a ton of work left. And actually, matter of fact, after I nominate the CEO, 2 months passed, and I'm actually quite busier than before. Matter of fact, yes, because I have clarity, and I am using my time for helping the company where I'm good at, and I can actually look at my time, so making a better impact out of my work, and I appreciate that, and I enjoy it. So here's my answer. Time will explain to everyone and also our team, and we are adjusting. But also, a lot of our people were they understood because I explained very thoughtfully and also carefully and honestly. And because we have a very culture, Noom, we try to keep a very good transparency culture and we treat our members like we use the common language that we use for family, right? So that's the way we communicate it. And I think it was well delivered. So we received we received support, and we updated the progress, and now it's a new era for company Noom. So meaning we are committed to take and embrace the challenge, and this will give us a higher chance that we can actually rise company next level and build a sustainable growth because we embrace experience. Like Jeff Cook is my CEO now, comes with a lot of strong experience from his founder. He has done a fantastic startup experience by himself as a founder CEO before. So we have a great leader that we just invited, and that's plus one. Mm.
Awesome. Well, hey, there's so much to cover. And before we go on to kind of what the future lies for Noom, let's go back to the early days.
Sure.
Is 2008, you guys launching Noom. Why did you decide to go down this crazy, bumpy, uncomfortable journey of starting a company? And what was that moment why you decided to go into digital health?
Your question is very thoughtful, Ollie. Thank you. And I will tell you why it's a thoughtful question. Yesterday, we had a team gathering and we stayed at the office until like quite late evening because we had open discussion with product managers. And one of the product managers mentioned, Saeju, that what we are building, what we are trying to solve is quite difficult because our service is not, the value is not transactionable at the moment of transaction had made, right? Like streaming service, you pay dollars, you can unlock to access to content. Uber, Lyft, you call the car, you get a car, right? Airbnb, VRBO, you search, like it, register, buy it, approve, you get it. Game, even more. You buy a game, you play a game. Our service is you sign up Noom, nothing happened to you. Unless you start to deal with a lot of like unlearn probably your bad habits, which is not easy only. Let's be very honest about that. So we understand. So that's why your question is very thoughtful. And I will answer why. I have my personal story before I found the company, which is I have to share because I found the company for a reason. So I came from South Korea, and people wonder, why did you come to the United States? And let me go even deeper. So I found my first company when I was 19. It was e-commerce business. It was quite successful. It was fun. But I struggled with something, meaning I had a symptom by the time, but I think I was too young to diagnose what's the problem with myself. I was a busy, business was good. I was happy, I thought, but I felt like something is missing. At the end of the day, literally at the end of the day, when I finished my day, like I worked so hard today and I enjoyed it everything, but something is missing. Why is that? And I learned because I didn't have a mission. I made a good money. Does that make sense? I made a good money out of it. So making money part is exciting. It's fun. It consumes a lot of my time. But it did not answer my curiosity of how am I spending my time in this planet at this time when I'm alive? Very philosophical question I had. And I feel very uncomfortable. Why can I answer? What am I going to build more after this? Why am I even making money? And what am I going to do with this company? I want to build an empire? Then what kind of empire? Why? That kind of question became like really big question I had. I think I was looking for purpose-driven life, but what's purpose is hard. And unfortunately, I lost my father during the time. My father was sick and then he passed away. And that really opened up the big like black hole. That question became like, just don't you have the kind of question only sometimes? Like we all die, which is a very fair game of being a human. At some point, we all die, no matter how smart you are or rich or strong you are. We all die. Very fair. But somehow we don't think about it because I think it's uncomfortable. So experiencing my dear father's death, witness that, really woke me up and helped me to think even deeper. So I became like, I got completely lost, Ollie. What should I do? Why am I even working hard? And why am I not satisfied with making money? Am I arrogant? What should I do with this money? And I tried to purchase something, but material did not give me any joy. Hanging out with the friends, buying some fancy drink doesn't give me a joy. Give me a little joy at the moment, but usually 90%, I felt like, empty. So I was looking for how to fulfill my life. And I learned that life has to be purpose-driven life day to day. Then I may have a chance to feel like, oh, my day is quite like well utilized. Came to the United States because my first business did very well, and I learned the TAM by the time, total access market, is very important. Because Korean music market, I did a music business, much smaller. I mean, these days K-pop, yes, but by the time no K-pop. So very small, limited. So I learned, oh wow, I put the same effort, but because I started from Korea, I'm talking Korean, I only see like the bamboo ceiling, like the ceiling. The market is so small. And also I can't recruit the talent other than Korean. Why I know there are a ton of different type of talent in the world. So I was very curious. So that's why I came to the United States, New York City, with no English background, no network. I'm not exaggerating. No human I knew, no single freaking human I knew. And I came. I had a long interview at a custom border officer at JFK. He asked a long question. You're a young man. You didn't finish the school because drop out college. You just finished the military. You came to the United States. You are here to find a job? And, no, I'm here to build a business. Anyway, so I came and I struggled here and there, but the struggle time was because of the cultural barrier, language barrier, all that. But eventually it gave me the clarity, Ollie, when you struggle too much, but at the same time, you don't give up to think about the big topic, then you may, this was my experience, have a clarity. Kind of like you receive the benefit of doing a meditation, right? Of course, meditation sucks. Sorry, not fun. But once you practice enough, it provides you clarity. You can put yourself into center. Your mind get cleared. You feel grounded. So I achieved that over 2 years. I was thinking all day long. And then I read a book. It's called Good to Great, written by Jim Collinson. That is book, the author Jim did a good job that interviewed and surveyed which company can stay more than 100 years and why. And it's such a fascinating topic. And I loved it because how nice is that? The company is designed for 100 years for more. So it's not one person's like, it's me, I'm that good. It's about the company did a fantastic job. And then I got into like Ivy League in America. Why the Harvard, Stanford, like Columbia University, Princeton, like these MIT, the good schools are so famous overall and in the world? Why is that? And they have like 100 years plus more experience. Why? And what makes their school so great? It's a school. It's not about like founder. It's not about like some principal or dean. Yeah, they're famous, but the school name is greater than one person, isn't it? And I love it. So as a founder, I felt like if I can have that opportunity, and also if I can make a dent, the change in over healthcare, how nice is that? And that answers my question. In this planet, in this time, as a human, as a Korean, I don't even know why I'm Korean. Do you know why you're a white dude only? You don't know. It was not your choice. It was not your choice. It was not my choice neither. But we are here, meant to be here. It's a fate. So I chose the game. Game might not, no, good word, sorry. I chose the path where I can devote my life, where I will not regret. And that is why I did a startup, which I knew because I did it before. Startup is very hard, as you know, and I don't recommend startup, by the way, to people because it's so hard, so dense experience, and it's awkward to even recommend to normal people startup because not designed for normal people to do startup. As Stat says, most of startup fail, and it should be failed because most business is not good. But I chose startup because I verified from my own experience previous time that it worked for me and I like that intensity, so I did it. Second, as an immigrant Korean, I realized how much healthcare has the service. I don't want to say it's broken. I want to say there's a lot of question I had as an immigrant in America, the healthcare experience. A lot of question I had, and I was kind of culture shock. This strong country in the world, the most richest, powerful country in the world, I had a certain expectation. And over service is kind of like, I'm not saying doctors, nurses, and they are bad. Truly, they are good. I usually get good service. What I'm saying is the price, the process, the waiting time, the way the incentivized to do checkup, all that kind of like very sick care focused. So my thesis was, if you pay attention to end users, if we use science and technology, use science because we don't want to deliver snake oil. We use technology to make it affordable and scalable. That can actually do a fantastic job. That was our thesis, and I found the company, and still today. I hope I answered your question. Sorry, it was too long, but
Interesting. Very
yep.
inspiring.
Thank
So
you.
you guys, well, you came to the US, Noom is getting going. As you said, it's incredibly hard starting a company. We've invested in 900 companies now, seen many thousands of founders, and it's really hard,
It's hard.
really hard. But finding your first customers is even harder.
True.
And there are lots of entrepreneurs here today, founders and founders who'll be listening to the episode, who don't really know where to begin. And especially for healthcare, it can be a bit of a sensitive topic because you need to gain the user's trust. So you're a great storyteller. So I'll just maybe say two questions and you can take it away. The first is how did you go around finding those early customers? And second part of the question is, how did you gain their trust? Or how did they, how did you make sure they could trust you?
Such a great question again, also very tough question because I don't think there is a single one best answer, to be honest, but I will share from my own experience and observation. It is like there are many different versions of people and profile that people respect. You understand? There's a lot of people in art, business, politics, and education we look up to. But they all look different. The way they communicate different. The way they build the trust is also very different. Remember, I have seen a lot of founder CEOs, and that's my life. My network is founders network, and I love them because we are all weirdos. And
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, Ollie, we have a one similarity, but we are usually very different. One similarity is like a curious and doer, but the rest of the characters are it varies, and I think that's the beauty of startup founders. How to start the customers, build the customers, your question, and how to build the trust. It's actually the same question to me. Why is that? Early stage company, from my own experience too, early stage company, unfortunately, their strong thesis that let them start the company, let them have the founders the conviction to deal with all the difficult time and found the company and believe in it and making the product. Most likely the product market fit will not work, especially early stage company. It's very hard. It's almost like you are blind and you're trying to find your path. That hard. So that's why your question makes sense. It's so hard. How to how to get there faster. I get it. My recommendation is to not try to do best for everywhere. Because first of all, if you're an early stage company, you don't have resources. And second, you don't have experience. And third, your product is very immature. Most likely, product is very, very, very immature. Maybe just one feature is well made, one feature. But as a company, it's not a company, it's a feature. What I've seen the mistake, including myself, trying to act like a grown-up company, growth stage company, right? Try to build everything, then it become mid-core company, mid-core. It's not good enough. It's just okay company. I rather recommend just focus on one thing that you should start from founders. What you are very confident to build something great enough, not good, great enough that most of the people focus on that. Double focus on that and double down on that. And then there must be a VCs, investors, and even early adopters out there because the startup culture, startup ecosystem has been richer than ever. So believe me, capital is not a problem. Even though 2021, 2022, we are talking very difficult time, there are enough capital, especially for early stage company, that they are looking for which founders are obsessed to solve this problem with a better solution investors and people are looking for. And if you have that answer, then it start to bring the right audience, not the quantity. Bring the right audience who care about this problem, who wanted to be involved, invite those attention. It's better to have smaller survey result, but highly engaged, honest feedback versus casual feedback because you give like $15 Amazon coupon card. You know, it's better to have a high quality survey result. That way you can actually focus build you can have a better chance. Let's say you have a better chance to get to the product market fit, which is a beautiful word. Define the product market fit is extremely hard. Most of the company fail, or actually because they fail, they sold the company or they stop. Product market fit is a very difficult. What is product market fit? Great TAM, ready to be disrupted, better product market fit enter, and it literally swipe out, disrupt. And that is startup's growth market. But that is very hard, my friend Ollie, unfortunately. So in order to get there, got to be disciplined, starting from founders. How to listen, but now do not get confused to listen. Listening is important, but there's a lot of noise. Does it make sense? There's a lot of noise. So you gotta have like your opinion. Critical listening. Think about the iPhone. Think about Samsung Galaxy S. Every day release a new phone and people complain all the time, isn't it? Every year they launch and people complain about it. Tesla, same. But out of all the complaints, which complaints are good complaints? That's the ability that the founder had to build. That's not easy. Focus. Once you do that and have a better progress understanding how to improve most likely product, and then share the progress with most likely investors and your team, that it build the trust. Why? Because you are not building based on what TikTok or internet or TechCrunch is saying. You are building based on the feedback that you care, one problem you want to solve, and you've been improving your product quality. Then you build the trust from the people who care about that problem, which is opportunity to disrupt, right? And that trust is a real trust. Because then people will know, hey, this team, these founders are obsessed and they have a ability to improve. And they are very diligent, they are focused. They move fast. They execute well. So see their progress last 6 months, 8 months ago, a year ago, and today. there's a many different metrics, not only revenue. People don't even expect revenue in the early stage company, but progress on product, that metric every week to week should go up. Then that's the trust.
It comes to a point, right, where you build the trust with millions of users. And as I think what you've said throughout the episode so far, it's clear that you guys are very focused around customer obsession. Um, when did it come to a point where you decided to raise capital? You guys, just for context for the listeners, raised roughly $650 million. So my one question actually is, what makes a great founder fundraiser?
Such a good question. And also I made a lot of mistake, Ollie. So I will share my mistake. So the fellow entrepreneur can do better job than me, to be honest. The mistake what I made in the early stage of the company, the first mistake I made in early stage seed stage and Series A, Series B, that we didn't pay attention. I'm not saying this because the market has changed these days. I'm saying it because I think I did not find a good balance between business metric and product metric. But as I just gave the advice that early stage company, it's very hard to have a business metric. I get that. But I think understanding how to build a business metric over time while we are improving the product quality is very important. It's kind of like homework. If we launch the product, great product first, that's great. And then we can raise capital for seed, Series A. But starting from Series B, we got to have like business metric. It's a balance. So frankly speaking, I had to raise capital. I had to raise capital to keep company survival mode. If I have a chance, if go back knowing this now, I would delay raising capital as much as I can. Why? First of all, it dilutes company equity value. Second, healthy challenge is actually quite good for the company. Challenge means lack of resources. Why? That a little discomfort gives us a chance to become more creative. And we are entrepreneurs. Come on, we are entrepreneurs. We can deal with a little uncomfortable situation. And actually, it often triggers our creativeness. And we can bring a better solutions. In other words, we can become lean organization. I think I take a credit. Yes, I became quite good at raising capital because I've been doing that every single year in the beginning. And I raised good capital. And I think it's a skill set. And I think I can become better. And I deal with a lot of VCs and plug into VC network, venture capitalists. So I think that benefited us that we could raise capital well from the top tier investors. At the same time, if I have another chance and go back before, I would delay. I would still take the money because they helped us immensely, not only money, but network, advice, hold accountable, all that good. They're basically coach, right, for us. But I think there's also, if we delay a little bit, I think we could have a little more lean organization. So that's number one. Number two, I always tell our people when we raise capital is, yeah, we can celebrate that because it's hard, but we should not truly celebrate for receiving the money from investors because simply investors put the cash into our company based on the future valuation. That means at some point, investors want to have a money back and they deserve it and they should do that. That's their business model. So I tell them, hey guys, we just raised capital. That means we just increase our line of credit or credit cards. Think that way.
Yeah.
Your credit card is not, are they generous? I don't know. But they increase your line of credit card, line of credit. What will you do instantly? Oh yeah, now I can spend like more dollars. You sure?
Yeah.
So be responsible about that. Be responsible about that. And I want to tell you one more advice that I learned. So after I raised Series C, my investor told me that day, congratulations, Saeju. Now, it was not an easy round, but you did a fantastic job. and you have like $10 million in your hand, my advice is save your dollars. Save your dollars more than you think. And I actually did not like that advice by the time because, of course, I'm not going to waste any dollars because I don't want to. I'm frugal. So I don't need your advice. Well, okay, no problem. But I understood why he told me after 1 year after. Does that make sense? I think I could utilize those investments better by being careful.
Hmm.
So he was right, and I give him a credit. But by the
Very
time
modest.
I couldn't fully understand. So that's very interesting, huh?
Hmm. Very
So
modest.
yeah,
And I
I
love
recommend save your dollars.
yeah. And I love how you I love the thinking, save the dollars, think of it like a credit card. But also surely internally and for yourself, there is so much going on, right? How are you remaining focused as you start to raise your Series D, Series E, and your latest round, right? The Series F. Because there's so much happening in the background which we don't see. Take us
True.
back to the last 18 months of when you were raising your Series F. I think that'd be quite an interesting story.
Right.
Um, Staying focused as it's difficult.
True. Not easy. So uh, it's a very tough question because a lot of companies struggles, especially when the company has like 1,000 employees, like us and a bigger company. That's one of the topic that I think very hard how we can be better aligned.
Hmm.
Because by nature of a human, we don't listen that carefully. We may listen, we think we listen, but probably we may listen 50% if you're lucky. And that create from CEO to intern to junior communication loss. But we have now big organizations, so there is another like communication loss. And we have millions user base.
Hmm.
So we have to pay attention what are they saying.
Yeah.
That's obsession. So we are trying hard to say no more to ourselves. New ideas are fancy, exciting, but we need to do a good job with what we are doing today.
Hmm.
And we need to have a very careful decision of new things. But this fact quite it's a very interesting topic. But if we don't also take the new things, then we fall into innovator's dilemma. We pay attention to our inside the employee, internal communication. We pay attention, we monitor very carefully how the world is seeing Noom and our users are experiencing Noom. And there's a ton of data point. Why is that? Because, as I said, the world is moving and evolving every day very fast. Come on, Ollie. Think about what happened like 2 years ago and now. There's a freaking active war is happening today. Can you believe? It didn't exist 2 years ago. Now kind of like so it's very hard to predict.
Hmm.
And especially like a consumer tech company, growth stage company, we face the front line. Why? When the economy is not doing well, then people start to like close their wallet. And we, as a growth company, as a biggest consumer tech company, then we receive impact on macroeconomy. So we got to monitor all the time. Pay attention to what they're saying. I believe because I'm an entrepreneur and also probably an optimistic person, I see always the change is good because it's an opportunity.
Hmm.
It's an opportunity for us to debut always. Rather, we defense. So we discuss with our team. We encourage our people. The challenge is the nature of being a startup, and we guarantee to our people and Noom, working for Noom, you are serving the great mission. At the same time, we guarantee you are going to learn a ton
Hmm.
because we expect you to take the challenge. This company is designed, meant to be growing fast and it will continue to grow well. When I say fast means it's not just a bloating fast. It's like we there's a lot of opportunity in healthcare. And as I mentioned, seek care, optimize the world. We believe there's a path that we can bring the consumer, end user, patient in the center, deliver the health before they lose their health. And the market is boomed. And I think we can answer better. And we review very carefully how we can embrace the innovation to answer and exceed expectation from the market.
There is so much happening right in
Yep.
healthcare, and we're very excited about the industry. We've backed a number of startups in this category, and there's so much more to be disrupted, right?
Yep.
Love to hear kind of what you're thinking about for the future, on a very kind of general level, and what's going to happen next for healthcare.
Healthcare. Good question. I think lifestyle. I think social media, internet, and the social media helped us to understand the world is a big but well connected. And also, people are trying to have a smart lifestyle. Smart. People are also looking for the great value of oneself. Not selfish way, by the way. It's going to have a very good, balanced, harmonized lifestyle compared to our older generation. People woke up to understand the value of being well-being, wellness, physiological health, mental health, relationship, financial health. This market, the current, I'm not limited, this is not about Gen Z or baby boomers. I'm talking about the current overall market. We have a far better understanding, and there are many good services, Noom included. You can have an access because, again, scientific approach and using technology to make it scalable, and there are many good services out there. So, and also, unfortunately, COVID-19 expedited the adoption of that, and here to stay. I believe because consumers' voice has been rising, and they are proactively investing into their own well-being. And the trend is here to stay and growing more, will grow more. Even younger generation pay attention. Our younger generation pay attention about that because it's a lifestyle, smart lifestyle. The big industry, what the healthcare majority businesses consist of, like pharma business, payer business, PBM business, and physician business, all that provide network, they also need to follow what they want. We, you, me, human, end users. And they are doing that. They are paying attention. If you carefully review what email you receive before COVID-19 and these days from your insurance company, probably you don't read carefully. I'm sorry, I assume. But if you read it, you will see more and more they are actually proactively asking your wellness. Not as a perk, but as a kind of like, are you doing your healthcare checkup? How is your sleep? How is your mental health? Because it's a less awkward talk about that. Remember prior COVID-19, people didn't talk about like mental health care openly, but now these days, people don't judge. Actually, people encourage. Thanks for sharing your struggle. We support you. And it's not weird. The world adopted new culture very quickly and here to stay. So I believe the healthcare industry will also adopt this change, and they need to. Otherwise, they will lose a market share. That's my forecast.
Really interesting. And I think maybe you will relate. But maybe one question to finish off is it's really hard running a company, right? And founders will work 19, 20 hours a day.
Oh
And
yeah.
we've had many founders on the show who've
Yep.
said mixed things. Um, how do you manage your work-life balance? And what advice would you give?
Very hard. I am not gonna, I'm not gonna present ideal answer. Um, I struggled many years, many years. And I actually want to borrow this chance to say thanks to my mother, my wife, my son, my sisters, even my investors. I want to say thank you. And my team, they sacrifice so much, endless sacrifice. And I became mature about the topic. The current my goal is because I know the Noom is a result of following my calling and passion. So will be continued. That means I won't change that much in terms of how much I love, and I will utilize my opportunity and talent for improving the company. But I am intentionally putting the effort to have a quality and quantity time with the family, where the value is not compromisable and not even it's just important. They deserve it. So I try hard to have like I try not to use my trained brain and have it during the weekend, meaning like optimize for everything, efficiency, everything. I try not to do that. It choked them because like you, me, Ollie, we are startup guy. We always detect the problem and we always come up with the solutions. We are itching to execute it. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes this attitude can stress them out,
Hmm.
especially family or friends.
Hmm.
We can just
Like,
simply relax and have not have a conversation with no agenda set up. And I'm intentionally doing that. I became better. I appreciate that. I
hmm.
appreciate my family members' patience. And second, I also try not I give a lot of credit to my office partner, Patricia. She managed my schedule, but she managed my schedule very wisely. She questioned me my regular meetings, repeating meetings. And what I learned from her, if it's repetitive, that means you may need to hire someone else who can actually take it from you and delegate that. What an amazing advice.
Hmm.
Because I will not be able to master that repeating the task. Does it make sense? Because my
Hmm.
position is managing people. What is managing?
Hmm.
And am I going to be the best person in the product? Am I going to be the best person in marketing and law, legal part? No. Delegate.
Hmm.
Give more autonomy. So I have my time. They appreciate it. They have more autonomy and also authority. Now you know what I have? I have time to think. Having a time to think is very hard. I'm telling you, Ollie, book your calendar for 2 hours straight and you just literally just focus on the difficult topic for your company and don't check email. Very hard, believe me. But once you build a muscle, it benefits the company. So I want to close my the comment I learned from my coworker. Urgency, urgency sometimes deceives the priority.
Hmm.
Being an urgent, and then you may actually ask yourself or your team member, I understand you're urgent, but is that high priority?
Hmm.
And surprise often, not really.
We had another founder on the show a couple of weeks ago called Mike Butcher. Awesome founder, um, amazing personality like you. And
Thank
to
you, sir.
finish off, he also said something similar, which resonates with what you just said. Keep your emotions in check. Family comes first, friends come first, relationships. Anything at work, someone else can solve it. But your friends, your family, your health and relationships, those are the ones that matter.
Well said. Well said. Strong foundation, family and health, for sure. And it's a good reminder for myself. The reason why I found the company Noom is also because I have a pure love and humanity starting from the oneself and family and community. How we can use the technology and science to help them become better and be healthy. And that's Noom. We want them to become a better version of oneself. We want them to have a better, unlock the talent, so become a better talent and have a better confidence by changing behavior. So thank you for sharing and thank you for asking the question, and I will do even better.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time. I feel like we could have gone on for another hour, but we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. Such an inspiring story. And we can't wait to see where Noom goes next.
Thank you so much for having me. And it was my honor. I could share my story to fellow entrepreneurs. Cheers.
Let's do it.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. Bye for now.